Hi, Towanna Freeman here. I just wanted to step in quickly before the interview starts to kind of set the tone about what you're about to watch. The interview is with Nicole Roberts Jones, and the topic is vision boards. Now, mind you, I recorded this video in January, right at the beginning of the year when everyone's talking about vision boards. However, I decided that it would be more helpful if we held the video when people stopped thinking about vision boards. Just to remind you what the vision boards are about and why they're important to us if you are an active user. And even if you've never created a vision board, just to kind of introduce you to something that you may want to try as we enter the summer season. I'm going to step out of the way and allow you to enjoy Nicole Roberts Jones as she introduces us to her way of doing a vision board. Hey, welcome to BLC TV. And you know what? It is a new year. I just realized this is our first video for the new year. Well, I don't like dating videos, but the reason why this one is so important is because typically people set resolutions and they set new terms and conditions for their lives, and along with that comes something that we all have heard of or maybe potentially have thought about doing but maybe did not necessarily know how to do it, and that is vision boards. You may learn it as the term vision board, dream board, or treasure map. Any of those words basically kind of fit the model, but they all have a way that you should do it correctly. So I decided that I would go into our wonderful network and bring back whom I believe has done a great job in learning how, or actually helping her clients learn how to use vision boards. Also, if you did see her on our last Ask the Expert, she actually showed the vision board that she had, her own personal vision board. A lot of people don't like showing their boards, but she did that. And because of it, I said, hey, let's bring her back so she can tell everybody basically how you can benefit from it. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you and or reintroduce you to Nicole Roberts Jones, who is coming to us, yay, from cold weather of Boston.
Yes, don't remind me.
Oh, because
Yes.
she's bi-coastal. She goes from extreme weather conditions from the west coast to the east coast. And so right now she's coming in from the east coast with me. And so with that, I'm so thankful and grateful for your time. Thank you for coming back on with us.
Yeah, I was telling you right before we started, I feel like you're my sister in this whole, movement of coaching. So I'm always so excited to say yes anytime you call. So thank you for always having me.
Oh God, I really appreciate it. And I know our viewers really enjoy hearing from you. And you have such a great way of communicating. Now, for those of you who don't know, below this video is going to be a lot of information. So although you're listening, also drop down, check out the content that's below the video because we're going to give you a lot of links, a lot of information that'll help set you up for success. So what I would like to do is kind of move out of the way so Nicole can do exactly what she can do perfectly, and that is give us some foundational information about what vision boards are,
Mhm.
why they work, and the steps that people can take right now to get themselves moving in the direction of visualizing their futures and visualizing their desires. So go ahead, Nicole.
Yay. So first, I have to say that everything I ever say to any client, anytime I'm speaking at any conference, I say it based on my own defining journey. So everything I'm going to encourage you to do, I did first, and I found that it worked for me. And then I tried it out with someone else, and hey, it worked for them too. So the thing I know about vision boards is really about putting it in front of you so you're reminded of what you want. Now, so many people think, oh, well, I know what I want. But when you are reminded all day, every day that there's this thing that you are moving toward, there's this intention you set for yourself. So I'll give an example of a something that's on my vision board, and every year I kind of upgrade it, up level it, or revamp it. Is my health. So the difference between 2014 and 2013, 12, 11, I started doing vision boards in 2008 for myself, or was that 2007? I don't know. I can't keep up. But anyway, the difference for my health this year is every year I learn something new about myself. And so the 40-something-year-old woman that I am now, I know you guys can't believe I'm in my 40s, but I am. Anyway, I love to eat. I don't know what it is about food now, but I love to eat. And when I first started dating my husband 10 years ago, he used to say that I ate like a bird and I would only eat a little bit, but now I eat the entire plate. I mean, entire plate. I eat my dessert and I eat an appetizer. That's how much I eat compared to how I ate before. And so the intention that I've really set for myself this year, again, just, and it's on my vision board, looking at how I can up level it, elevate it for 2014 is around being healthy. And so I had to hire a health coach this year because I realized that whole plate is not shifting. Every year,
Nicole.
and every year at Christmas, I gained my Christmas 10, which is annual. That's a normal thing. But this year, I gained my Christmas 15. So, so really, she's helping me look at how I'm making choices differently. So by having that on my vision board, because I only talk to her once every other week, and actually she does check on me, holding me accountable to my exercises and stuff I'm supposed to be doing. And as Towanna alluded to, I travel a lot now. So that's really been my issue, is learning how to be healthy when I travel. Because when I'm going to a restaurant, I'm eating that whole plate. When I'm at home, I can be more conscious of putting a little bit on it. But when you put it in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. So by having that on my board every day, and she's actually texting me every day too, it keeps me intentional, if that's making sense. It reminds you of what you want. And the other piece that I do when I work with clients is everyone is different. So every one of us is in a different place. We have intentions in different areas of our life. And you can have an intention right now, and 3 months from now, it can be altogether different. So it's really looking at where you are, where your mindset is around that thing, because it really is how we think about it that it becomes into being. So looking at what's happening in your life that's shifting your mindset, and then helping you put together tools that will move you in alignment with what you want. That to me is the beauty of vision boards, is having a journal with that vision board and really looking at where you are, what you want, and how you create that in your life, if that makes sense. So it's worked for me because I encourage people to put it up in a place you look at all the time. So I'm not in my office right now, but in my office, which is where I was the day that we talked, and I went and grabbed it and brought it. In my office is right there next to my desk. So I'm looking at it all day, every day. I've been videotaping all day today. So I'm in my little production area of my house. So that's the only reason why I'm not going to grab it to show you again, but it's always right in front of me, reminding me what I want, reminding me when I'm making choices, when I get a phone call about some other business opportunity. If it's not in alignment with what I'm working toward, then I have to make a choice. I can either be incongruent with my desires, or I can stay in alignment. And usually when you're in alignment, just like your car, you get your car aligned so that it runs properly, so that you can get from A to B without all the drama that can come in between if your car is not in alignment. That's the same thing you want to do in your life, is really getting your values, your desires, your dreams, your actions in alignment with what you want.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there because that's key information. So everybody's gonna develop their board differently. Do
Mm-hmm.
you have a strategy around developing? Because like I said, I'm gonna put mine in order, left to right. But other people may do quadrants. Other people just throw it everywhere, don't matter. So what would you suggest?
Well, I actually usually recommend for people not to put it in order of how they want it to happen, because what we think is going to happen and what can happen, the way that it can be altogether different. So sometimes, I'm not saying this is you, but some people will say, oh, well, I didn't get this first, so I can't do that. Well, sometimes the way we think things are going to happen, it doesn't happen that way. I always say to people, why limit God? Who are we to say when stuff is supposed to happen? As long as it happens, it might not even look like who's to say I ever thought I'd be in Boston? I never would have thought I'd move out of California. But when I met my husband, who is my best friend, my soulmate, I mean, more than I ever could have asked for in a man, and then he got an offer to move to the East Coast, I was like, okay. So again,
Yes.
it didn't look like how I thought it was going to look, but it was everything I wanted. So I typically, I say quadrants. So many people don't know exactly what they want. If you know exactly what you want, great. But again, don't limit yourself when it doesn't look like, because my husband's show didn't look like what I thought I wanted. in regards to where he
Yes.
lived,
Mm-hmm.
and he had kids, and I was
Yeah.
always the kind of woman I didn't want to date men with kids, so
Yeah.
he wasn't what I thought I wanted, but at the end of the day, he was. So when I did my vision board, I recommend you do quadrants, and that you're open to possibilities that may look a little different. Like you might say you want an orange car and you get a red car, but it's the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's this joke that says, and I'm probably going to mess it up, but there was a man, and I'm sure you've heard this, stranded in the ocean,
Yes.
and he kept praying for God to come and save him. And somebody came by in a boat and said, "Hey, you need help?" He was like, "No, no, I'm good." Then someone came by in a plane and said, "Hey, do you need help?" And he said, "No, no, I'm good." And then a huge ship came, an ocean liner, like a cruise ship, and came by, and they said, "Hey, do you need help?" And the guy said, "No, no, I'm okay." And over time he died, and he went to up to heaven, and he said, "God, what happened?" He said, "Well, I sent 3 people to help you, and you didn't." So and I'm saying, I'm telling you
Yes.
a joke in essence,
Yes.
because things don't always look like. So I recommend that you put things on your board, and I always say don't put it exactly. Now, sometimes God gives you, or what, and let me just say this: if you don't believe in God and you believe in Buddha or something, don't let me put my religion on you. Just replace, when I say God, replace your universal power
Yes.
with that word.
Yes.
But the universe might give it to you differently, and that's okay too. Or might give you an exact dream. Like I got a dream of speaking all over the country, but I didn't know what that was going to look like. So I just put a picture on my vision board, and my husband laughs at this every time he comes in my office because it is hilarious. So I have a big group of people, and then I cut a picture of me out and stuck me in the middle of those people because that's what I saw. But I
Yes.
didn't know how that was going to happen. So really, I recommend you do quadrants, and those quadrants would be health. Um, the next one would maybe be career, finances. Next one being spirituality or mental health, and then the last one be relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Because those really are, I would say, encompass everything in our life. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
finances could be work, could be career, could be money. Relationships could be whether it's your mate, whether it's your kids, whether it's your sister girls, or your
Mm-hmm.
homeboys for the men that are watching. So whatever that might look like, but all of those pretty much encompass every area of your life.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what I recall from the previous video because you talked about quadrants.
Mhm.
And so I remember when I heard that, I said, Tawana, yours is linear, which is not, it doesn't make it bad. It's just that
Mhm.
as long as you know that you're not stuck in the order. And that's the
Right.
point. I may like to see things in a linear, but I don't accept things in a linear. I
Right.
can jump all the way around, but as long as I've seen them somewhere on that spectrum, I'm okay, right?
Right. Mhm.
So, the next question I have for you is expectations. So, a lot of people get these boards, they'll do them in January,
Mhm.
and they want to see manifestation by third quarter of the year, right? They want to see things happen.
Mhm.
How do you help your clients manage expectation when it comes to the boards? Because there are elements of the board that can show up, and like you said, you may not like the package and you let it pass by,
Mhm.
so you missed an opportunity.
Mhm.
But without a coach, you may not notice that kind of stuff. But
Right.
with your clients, how do you help them with managing expectations or managing something that presented itself and then they just decided it wasn't what I was looking for?
Mhm. So first, typically when I'm working with clients and you do your vision board, which is the whole pie, right? Now, you guys know I told you I love to eat, so I'm going to use the eating thing. So anytime I sit down, I never eat the entire pie all in one sitting. Now, I probably could, but I don't, right? You eat one slice at a time. So what the point I'm trying to make is I have people set intentions by a quarter. Because if you're trying to eat the whole pie all at once, you go get sick, or
Yeah.
something else might happen that I won't say, but I'm sure you can guess. So the point is, if you just make it in bite-sized pieces and set a goal for that quarter. So what I'm doing with my clients now is just setting goals for quarter one. And then what happens is once you get in movement with, and mind you, every little step is movement. When you any little thing that's happening is movement. It might not look like you want it to look, but it is movement. So every movement then next leads to a next movement. So by the time you get to your second quarter, your goals can look different. Now you might be setting a different goal because you've gotten this thing. Like if I use a GPS for an example. So anytime I'm driving somewhere far, I use a GPS. And most times I'm driving somewhere I've never been before. Hint, most of our goals are somewhere we've never been before, right?
Yes.
And so I can't imagine how I'm going to get to the end, but I know I'm going to get there some kind of way. I might even know what the place looks like that I'm going to get to, but I know the address. That's all I know. So I take one step at a time on that GPS. They tell me to turn left, so I turn left. And then I'm not anticipating my next turn until the lady says, in a quarter of a mile, you're going to turn right. I'm not even thinking about it because I don't know where the heck I'm going. Well, guess what? Most times we set these dreams, we have these dreams for ourselves and we don't know where the heck we're going. We don't. We just know the destination. So many of us get stuck on the process, and that's where we lose hope. That's where we become frustrated because the GPS, the direction that we're getting, and by the way, I believe our GPS is our higher
Yes.
power. That is who's directing you. So if you just take it one step at a time, knowing that that destination may not look like you think it's going to look, but you will get there, but just be in the moment. Be in the step you're in, and don't get caught up on, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to get there. And it doesn't look like, well, of course it doesn't look like, because you never have done this before. So you don't know what the heck it's supposed to look like, but
Mm-hmm.
just be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so really, to be honest with you, the majority of the work I do with my clients is helping them stay in the moment, because that's,
Mm-hmm.
mind you, I do too. So I'm not perfect. I get, moments of, I'm never going to do it. We all get like that. So it's
Right.
really helping you see the beauty of the present. And if you,
Yes.
if you think about the present as a gift, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
So just understanding the gift that is today.
Um, so this is the other thing, Nicole. So we have these wonderful boards. We set it up in our quadrants. We focused on our health. We focused on finances. We focused on relationships. And what was the fourth quadrant?
Health, relationships, finances, career.
And career. Right. So we have those four quadrants when we're identifying images. Now, you talked about having a cutout where you put in front of, inserted at a podium in front of an audience. How do you recommend that people find images? Do you want pictures of yourself as often as you can on your board?
Well, it's up to you. I recommend, depending on what it is you want, if it's something that you need, you see yourself in, then yes. And mind you, I cut out pictures because I can't draw at all. So you can also draw your vision board, but there can even be words, words that are inspiring you in that area. Like I think I have on my vision board, the lady is a Trump. We all know who Donald Trump is, so you know what area that is in mine. So, whatever's going to inspire you in that arena, it doesn't have to be exact pictures. It could, again, just be phrases. It could be a quote you like. It could be, I have Oprah in my vision board because she's inspirational to
Yes.
me in the work she does. So just depending on what inspires you, motivates you, pushes you, is what I would recommend you put on there.
Well, let's be specific though, Nicole. On your vision board, you said you're going to work with Oprah.
Uh-huh.
And at the time it was about her show, but now she has owned. So let's correct that statement because
Yes.
you are going to
Mhm.
work towards getting on own. That's what we're talking about.
And mind you, I never say work towards getting on own because I don't want to limit. I don't know what God is doing. So I don't know if I'm gonna have my own show. I don't know if I'm gonna be a producer. I don't know if I'm gonna be on somebody else's show on own. I don't know if Oprah and I are gonna do something together. I don't know exactly what that looks like. So I'm open to the possibilities, but I know that it will be something with Oprah, and I feel that in my spirit.
Mhm.
So it's being open to what is. Now, if I would have been stuck to I'm gonna be on Oprah show. Oh my God, I would have been so depressed when her show went off.
I
Like,
know, right?
do that. And at first, for a minute, I thought, oh my God. But then I thought, why am I limiting my possibilities? I put that on my board because I felt that. And then she had a network. I said, oh, there it is. So that's a great example of not
Yes.
being tied to an exact way something's going to happen. For all I know, Oprah might own an island and she might invite me to live on the island and teach people. I don't know what that's going to look like. That would be great though.
Right. Right.
So it's just being open to what's possible.
Right.
Um, I
So
was
when you say that, and I'm glad you did that, and I'm glad we used that example, because when you say that, a lot of times what we do is that, you know, when she says be open and not to put limitations on what it is that you're visualizing, what she's saying is that Oprah can be, or owned, OWN, can be tied to something that she has integrated in her life. Whether Oprah is physically in the space is not the point. The point is that it's intertwined somewhere, somehow connected, like a circuit. And of course, I'm a scientist, so here I go. It's like, you've connected somehow,
Mhm.
and it could just be some form of support, some form of referral. So it could be anything. But
Hmm.
the fact that you are looking for that connection at some point
Hmm.
is really the powerful piece. And so understand that.
And I was going to add, you brought up something earlier, and it made me think of there's two things you need to be in alignment with your vision board, and that is elevation and activation. So, what I mean by elevation is elevating your mindset. So, and I use this as an example because most people can get this, is if I put on my vision board that I want a deep, meaningful, beautiful relationship, but out of my mouth, I'm saying all men are dogs, then
Oh
how am I in
man.
alignment with what I want? So it's really elevating you to be in alignment. So if you want to be a butterfly, you can't act like a caterpillar
That's
and
true.
expect to receive all that the butterfly is going to receive. So it's really looking at how do you elevate your thoughts, the words you speak, name it and claim it, as we used to say back in the day at church, or fake it till you make it, whatever feels good to you, but really getting in alignment and then activating yourself around that. So
Mm.
with me in this whole eating thing, it's me elevating my mind around the choices I'm making. So I'm still going to eat the same food I'm eating. I'm just going to eat less. I'm going to be more mindful of when I'm eating that. I'm taking more vitamins. I'm working out differently. Like my health coach texts me exercises I can do at home. So I'm getting in alignment now. So when I'm on the road, I can do those exercises in my hotel room because I'm already used to. So it's really elevating your mind around what you want and then getting active now. So many people, we say this at Motivating the Masses all the time. You sit back and you think, okay, do me. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. And it doesn't happen like that. I hate to tell you, it doesn't. And you can think it's going to happen like that and
Yes.
just sit back and wait, but it just doesn't.
Yes.
And even with a miracle, my grandmother used to always say, God only calls people that are busy. So it's
Mm.
really being in action that the miracle comes. It's in being in alignment with it and moving toward it as much as you can. And then all of a sudden, that's when the miracle comes. You've got to be, even,
Yes.
people have asked me, how did I become associated with motivating the masses? Well, I've been doing this work for 20 years. And a few years ago, I was ready to elevate my career. And mind you, I never set out to be a speaker. I love serving people. But in order for me to do that, I got to get in front of people so they know I exist. So guess what? That means I had to become a speaker. So I was trying to grow my speaking career. And so going as a student to elevate me is when I got a job offer I never would have seen coming. But it was
Mm.
because I was in activation
Right.
to elevate me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So it's always being in movement and motion toward growing you. You get to this level, it's guess what? Don't stay there. Go to the next. What can I do next to grow me? Okay, I'm here now. Like everybody laughs at me, like, you're a size 2. Why are you worried about your weight? Because I want to stay here. And I'm in my 40s. Let's keep it real. In my 50s, my metabolism is going to shift again. And as I told my husband, I got a whole closet full of clothes. I know you are not trying to rebuy. So that means I need to elevate my where I am in order to keep my momentum going.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Well, we're talking to Nicole Roberts Jones, who is one of our special guests that we love bringing back to help kind of move you all in the direction of, you know, getting to a point where you actually are actively pursuing your visions and your goals. Now, she is the author of Define Your Own Way. So below is a link to her website. You can find out all about Nicole. But I will say before we close, Nicole, how often do you recommend that you make adjustments to your vision board?
ongoing always. So everybody's different. So I hate to say exact, but when you have done all you can do in that one area. So like for instance, I'll use my husband for an example. I've been married for 7 years. Okay. So it just doesn't stop there. Like, okay, great. I'm married. I'm done. No. So even with he and I, since we just celebrated our 7 year anniversary, we're like, okay, so this year I'm laughing because, we're trying to figure out ways that we could do things differently. So we've been playing more games in the evening, so it's always looking
Yes.
at how do I elevate if you're looking at your relationship quadrant, or even with
Yes.
my stepkids, now they're in their 20s and they're in a different area of their life. They don't need us like they did before. So even looking at how do we do things differently with them, even because I'm traveling more and I'm not able to hang out with my girlfriends as much. I'm having to this year really I've reached out to my close 5 and started to talk to them about, okay, so last year I was trifling. I didn't see you. I didn't call you as much as I wanted to, being honest. So let's look at how we could be more intentional
Yes.
about having girlfriend time this year. Even if I don't get to see you, I want to hear you. But that's what I want. What do you want? So really looking at how in the moment, in every moment, because you know when you're kind of uh, down falling in an area. And that's when I really say reach out to a coach. Because if you could do it by yourself, it would already be done.
Yes.
Let me say that one more time. If you could do it by yourself, it would already be done. I
Yes.
have a coach ongoing. So I'm being coached always to be the best me because I want to
Mm.
be held accountable to my greatness. And as a coach, that's what we do. We hold you accountable to your greatness. We just hold the space for you to find and define what you want. And we just
Mhm.
help you get there. So
I don't know about you all, but from that video alone, I would be calling to get on her schedule so that she can coach me to my next level of greatness because confidence attracts confidence, a lot of times. So, you're looking at her. I know if you look at her and you admire her the way that a lot of people have since we watched, and I know I have so much respect for Nicole, that her energy, the way she presents, the way she coaches is so authentic. It's just so relatable. And so at the end of the day, I want you all to look below the video and you can see how you can contact her so that you can, get a discovery session, get on her calendar and see if she is the type of coach that you would like to work with. Now, Nicole, I understand that you are willing to work with any viewers who are looking at this video and give them a 30-minute consultation, coaching consultation to work with you. And so, with that being the case, below the video is a link where you can reach out to her, but you have to let her know you're coming from the BLC audience. Again, that's the Black Life Coaches audience. And with that, she will give you that 30-minute free consultation. So, Nicole, thank you so very much. I'm so glad to have you back. You're so awesome.
I love, I have so much fun with you. I feel like we're having a sister girl chat, and I forget that we're being videotaped. So I have to not scratch my nose and start doing
I
all that.
know, right? That's the reason. But you know what? You draw that out, and I think guys. While you're watching this, that's the one thing that I want you all to know about Nicole and the others that are guests here. As they are relating by video, you can get a rhythm. You can sense how they are and how they will affect your life and be able to assist you in the path to greatness. So, you know, just look at them, see how natural they are. And if they look stuffy, then you know they're going to be stuffy. So,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, use this platform to kind of look for people that can help you get to the next level. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to bringing you back.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait.
All
Thank you.
right.
Whole thing, I had to frame it. So literally, let me see if I can walk you through it. I have 4 quadrants on mine too. I'll lift it up so you can see the bottom two when I get there. So literally up here, it says things like, what kind of influence are you having? And you are powerful. So this was really around me growing my business and growing my speaking and coaching career. Then here I have partnership and so in love and a picture of my husband and I, which is really little right there. So that area there is really me